Posted over 100 art videos from March 2023 to today and grew my art account from 600 followers to over 60,000. And these are my top 10 insightful art tips, from how to draw poses to stealing from other artists and dealing with art block as a creative. And in the end, I will show you my methods using 3D in your 2D art like GUIs and Laoban. 10. Art studies suck. Okay, hear me out. Art studies are fun, they're helpful, but when you don't have time, they just suck. But I found a rookie-proof way to study art without having to allocate time for art studies. As a third-year medical student, I have no time to sit down, pick up my pencil, and study anatomy. Plus, it's kind of boring. So instead of doing anatomy studies, I study the part I want to work on while using muscle references when I'm working on the drawing. That way, I learn, and it also saves me time from having to do individual studies. It's the best solution for artists who have school, kids, or even sugar daddies. 9. Contrast. A huge part of 2023 for me was experimenting with contrast, light and dark, color, big and small. And knowing it theoretically is very different from knowing it actually, and by actually I mean actually doing the stuff. Heck, it's like playing Forza and thinking you can drift like Ken Block. RIP. But having a contrast checklist in mind when drawing is key. In the final part, I'll show you how to annotate while drawing. When making my drawings, I always make sure to at least check off a couple of these boxes for contrast. It's a must for me because that is the easiest way to steal your audience's attention. I really wish I did that when I was a beginner. It would have saved me so much time. But another thing artists tend to forget is the beginner mindset. The beginner mindset is something I learned while studying Ali Abdul's Feel Good Productivity. Not sponsored, by the way. And it's my go-to every time I'm struggling with backgrounds and composition. I approach it with like the openness and curiosity of a beginner. I know you might be thinking, but Arcel, that's dumb. It allows you to see things afresh, and I start by watching YouTube videos on the topic, even though I have a decent grasp, and every time I realize and learn something new. It's like a gift that keeps giving, like that one girl on school sports team that is always dishing out freaking STIs. But if you think that's bad, you definitely haven't had ad block. Ad block really sucks. So after scouring YouTube for hours trying to find solutions to my ad block, I found something called time blocking. Hear me out. It's probably the most helpful thing I started doing in 2023, and I use it to schedule my videos, scripting, drawing, BT meet. I really just add my school timetable to it and then fit every other important thing I want on the schedule. I know. It sounds like a freaking robotic, rigid way to live, but this helps you prioritize all the important things you want to achieve and make sure you actually do them and at the right time you want to do them. Obviously, if you're struggling with like ADHD, or if you're struggling with focus or commitment, or just have behavioral issues, no offense, this will probably be very hard. But for me, it was hard at first, but after a couple days, actually, like I will just find myself, wake up in the morning, next thing I'm on my calendar app, I'm time blocking, okay, I'm going to draw by this particular time. After my general surgery classes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It just really helps you structure everything. And genuinely, it's really helped me a lot on my art journey. And it also helped me hit my goal of drawing consistently for almost every day. It might be practices, it might just literally be sketching on like the friggin' bus, or while waiting for my lecturer, something crazy like that. But it just literally helped me be consistent and prioritize everything that I want to achieve. And in no time, you hit your art goal of consistently drawing every day. Talking about consistently drawing every day, you hear artists on Instagram reels spamming, draw every day, quantity over quality, blah blah. I don't know which side I stand on because it's really hard to decide. Quality drawings or more drawings, I don't know. And most of us barely even have time to draw these days. The side I stand on, however, is drawing whenever you can. Just drawing is better than not drawing at all.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
And I think when you take out the fun by saying draw every day, most people won't draw every day because it's fucking sucks, you know what I mean? So yeah, in my opinion, just draw whenever you have time to. Obviously, you might have to force yourself sometimes because you just have to get those crunches in, you know? It's like, you don't want to go to the gym, but nigga, get your fucking ass to the gym, you know what I mean? So yeah, my slogan says it best, just freaking do it. Yeah, I still like his slogan, and that's not the only thing I steal because I'm huge fan of using references, and any artist that doesn't might as well just freaking stop drawing or something. It's satire, please don't comment about me. But talking about drawing, there's something which has not been talked about in the art community forever, which is draftsmanship and references. Let's start with reference boards. Even guys like Kim Jong-ki actually use references. Instead of shoveling through a lot of pictures when drawing, you should use a reference board. Learned it from an artist a couple years back, and I always use it. Imagine going for a trip to freaking Antarctica, right? Without packing shit you need like freaking lotion, toilet paper. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a dry trip. pun intended, which is why I always use a reference board, and I use a free program called PureRef, link in the description, which is free by the way, but please donate if you can. It's amazing and it helps you compile references from Pinterest, ArtStation, Google, literally anywhere by just dragging and dropping. It's that easy. Also without having to like manually save your files. Only peasants freaking do that. And you can do this with images you already have. And even if you delete these pictures, they maintain on your board, which is fucking dope, you know what I mean? So assets like Guiz use it to build mood boards and it overlays perfectly on your monitor. You can resize it, you can change the theme, you can add notes, a lot more. It's how I'm able to steal other artists' work and use them as references almost every single time I draw. Sometimes I have no idea what rendering style to use, colors, so I use a lot of NSFW artists' work from Twitter because, you know, nobody renders skin better than those niggas, you know what I mean? And I use Samdo's art and Guiz's art for lighting, but not gonna lie, my reference board is usually stuffed with like random artists from Pinterest. I'ma just link them all along with my board in the description. This particular reference board gives me a goal or a final piece to work towards, and yes, I use my own drawings on my reference board. I'm a freaking narcissist, okay? Let me be. For someone like me that struggles with aphantasia, it's really hard, so I just sometimes just have my own drawings on like the board, or sometimes from other artists that really inspire me. I'm sure we've all been through that YouTube art era where everybody's U-shape like friggin' program. Right now, Aristelle is my favorite character design artist because her lines, her concept, her hands is freaking big, and the display an insane level of draftsmanship. And that was what I was speaking about earlier. It's something I really learned recently. You might just think it's like, you know, it's just drawing, but to me it's more or less like clean art, you know, clean lines, decisive line work. If you watch her streams and look at her art, every single line is carefully placed. That is a different level of mastery, bro. I know I'm glazing, okay? I might even be glazing a little bit too much, but it's just literally insane. The way she thinks of each individual line before drawing it on, bruh. Her clean line art actually made me feel bad about my chicken scratching. And talking about chicken scratching, almost every beginner artist does this. Heck, even intermediate artists, and up until last year. Crazy, I know. That was how I sketched. It's bad because it doesn't really build line confidence. Instead, you like chicken scratch and make your drawings look messier than when you're actually having a bad hair day. Plus, if you love inking, it actually helps improve your lines. So stop breaking chicken scratching. You're welcome. And maybe you'll finally be confident enough to post your sketches. But not be seeing the notes artists leave on their drawings, which is exactly why you should annotate your drawings. Hear me out, okay? We all take breaks between drawings, and unless you're a no-lifer like me, even me, I take a quick hentai break. So I pause and look at my drawings and think of what might be looking off, what doesn't look right, and what I might want to add to the final piece, or what the final piece should look like, or, you know, might make it look way cooler than it already is, you know what I mean? So the process actually involves objectively analyzing your art, which helps you see everything clearer after spending hours rendering that freaking hand or that freaking gold earring and shit. You know what I mean? These little notes for yourselves can help you drastically improve your ability to look at drawings, objects, people, and understand the techniques you can use to replicate those particular objects or things when drawing. But before the final tip, if you've learned something new, make sure to smash the subscribe button. Smash that shit, because I'm cooking up a video on the top 10 artists you should study to improve your art. And also, if you're enjoying the video so far, like, okay? Thank you. And now that the shameless plug is out of the way, before the final tip, here's a bonus tip. When you're trying to make drawings, for the past year, I've tried to use some fancy perspective trick on all my drawings. It doesn't just make them look dynamic, but it makes them look unique in every single way. So always try to find a way to squeeze in a little bit of like perspective or something dynamic or something even in the foreground, which adds a little bit of depth and perspective. It will add a lot to your drawings. Trust me, it increases the appeal by like what, frigging 100-fold, okay? So plus you could always just flex to your friends that, oh yeah, I'm good at perspective and shit. And you know, no one can argue. 1. Using 3D for posing and lighting. 3D posing tools have existed forever, but I've not seen an artist who uses it the way I do. Artists like Guiz, Laovan use 3D posing tools, but nothing come close to using it for lighting. Let me explain. You see, in 3D Poser or Magic Poser, anyone you like, you can choose lighting position and distance, which gives you way more precise shadows for your drawings. And the tough part is actually setting up the pose, but once you've got that done, the rest is easy. I've used it in like a lot of drawings, well, a couple, but you get what I mean. Like this, and this. This piece is actually my favorite because it was made using grayscale, and if you struggle to paint your grayscale drawings, you should definitely check out this video.